So you want to be a Tokyo Ghoul main, huh? Or are you looking for tips and tricks to improve your killer gameplay? Well, you've come to the right place. What is up, guys? Coco here, and welcome to my killer guide on all things Tokyo Ghoul. Kaneki is the newest killer to come to the DBD roster, and let me just tell you, this man has it all. He's an insane powerhouse of a killer with incredible mobility, oppressive lethality, and let's be honest, who doesn't want to swing around the map like Spider-Man? In today's video, we're going to be going over the killer's power. We're going to be giving you some tips and tricks on how to outplay and get an edge on survivors in your games. We're also going to be going over the two different forms that Kaneki has so that you can utilize them effectively. And I'm going to be helping you guys by giving you some builds, some recommendations on add-ons and perks, whether you're a beginner, maybe someone who has experience, or you're an advanced killer that just wants to jump right into it. So first things first is Kaneki is a 4.6 meter per second killer who runs at 115% compared to survivors who run at 100%. He has a 40 meter radius, so survivors will be able to know when he's about to approach. So you want to utilize your power to sneak up on survivors or get the jump on them before you get into chase. And he has an average height. So what this means is that if you're looping around a certain tile, you'll be able to backpedal or you'll be able to moonwalk in order to get an edge in that loop. Unless you're like someone like Nemesis, who probably is very tall, you probably wouldn't be able to do that with Nemi, but with this killer, you'll be able to. Now we're going to jump into his power. His power is called One Eye Terror, and he has a special ability called the Kagune Leap. Essentially what this does is you have two tokens that allows you to leap twice. So you can go leap and then leap. Now what you can do is on your second leap is you'll be able to grapple onto a survivor and damage them, infecting them with the Kugine mark. Now what this does is it puts survivors into the deep wound. So essentially what they have to do now is they have to mend before they can go heal someone, before they can do a generator, open chests, so on and so forth. Now how this is really good is because it puts you into the enraged state. So after you grapple into someone, an animation will happen where you drink the blood, and then you have to wait a little bit before you get your charges back. Now backpedaling, when you have your tokens and you run out of tokens in your regular mode, it takes you 4 seconds per token to get your charges back. So with 2 tokens in the regular mode, it will take you 8 seconds. When you jump into the enraged mode, it will take you 7.5 seconds because you get 3 tokens, 3 consecutive leaps. So you'll be able to jump over vaults, you'll be able to jump through pallets, or essentially just catch up to survivors. Now, I really want to encourage you guys to stay in your rage mode throughout the entire game. Why? Because now that you have 3 leaps, that essentially could help you cut off a survivor, jump in and chase them, get closer to them. And there's different builds that I'm going to be showing you guys that you're going to want to stay in rage mode in order to keep that oppressive nature in the game. Kaneki is so good at utilizing his leaps to maybe even cut off survivors, maybe even beat them to a window or a pallet. Just certain little tips and tricks that you can dive deep into in order for you to get the edge on survivors. Now, what I want you to also know is that once you end your power, you have to wait until you get all of your tokens back before you could utilize it again. So for instance, if you have 3 tokens in a rage mode and you use 2 of them, then essentially you have to wait 5 seconds before you can use those 3 leaps over again. This is still way better than staying in your regular mode because you would have had to wait 8 seconds for your 2 tokens, whereas you would only have to wait 5 seconds for your 2 tokens. So this is really, really good. And maybe some small little details is that one crazy thing you can do is if someone has the Kagune mark, you can vault over an object and injure a survivor or damage them if they are marked and next to that vault. So for instance, if someone's at Shack and you vault over that window and they are marked, you can damage them while you are leaping over. Kind of like a little drop kick, so to say. Another thing to notice too is that when you are grappling on survivors, there will be a little mini game that pops up. This mini game, if you hit it on the right time, will give you an additional 30 seconds of the Kagune mark. What this means is that you'll need to keep your eyes on your HUD and see if that timer is going away, because once that timer goes away, then you'll go back into your regular mode. So you constantly want to be chaining your grapples. Maybe when you're chasing someone, maybe it is nice to just grapple onto them even though they're injured, so that you can continue to keep your your third consecutive leap in your chases for later. So make sure that you're hitting those mini games. Make sure that you're doing what you're doing, because if not, you only have 60 seconds versus an additional 30 seconds, which will be 90 seconds of staying in that enraged mode. So that's pretty much it. Just keep an eye on that HUD, keep your power in enraged mode, and have some fun with that. Now let's go over the perks. So the perks that he has are nothing but misery. I'm just going to be straightforward with you guys. All of these perks are very, very good for new killers or the M1 killers, right? Because maybe you're not good at chases, or for your M1 killers like Pig, like Ghostface, like Trapper, you might not be able to, you know, be an anti-loop killer, get through the pallets, throw hatchets like Huntress, things like that. But this is really good. So nothing but misery, what this does is it pretty much allows you to summon a hex totem after you hit survivors with 8 basic attacks. The next time you hit someone, they will gain a 5% hindrance for 15 seconds. Now this is really cool with the new buffed knockout. Say you are able to hit a survivor while they throw the pallet and they run away from the pallet. You effectively have 5% from knockout, and you have 5% from this, and now you have 10% hindrance, which is really, really cool. Maybe you can even run this with enduring too as well. We got Forever Entwined. I really like this perk a lot. What it does is after you damage people, you get tokens. So once they take damage and you collect enough tokens, you can have up to a 32% bonus on your pickup, your drop, and your hook. So effectively you're always going to pick up someone and hook them, right? So you could technically get a 64% bonus right there for just playing the game, right? So this is really, really, really cool. I also like the none are free. I personally think that this helps your late game killers like Freddy, for instance, where he might not have a power, or Legion. So once you hook someone for the first time, you get a token. Get all 4, you get 4 tokens. 4 tokens equivalates to 16 times 4, which would be 64 seconds of all windows and pallets being blocked at the end game. That is crazy. So whatever tokens you have, multiply that by 16, and that's how long those pallets and windows. So this could really help like a Pig, for instance, or just anyone that maybe not really good at chases. So this was really cool. I really like this this perk right here for that. So yeah, there it is. Now we're going to be going over some tips and tricks. These are 3 different things that I think you guys should learn or know so that you can have an edge in your games. So tip number 1, slide canceling. When you are leaping around the area and sliding around the map, which is really cool because once you leap, you can slide. You have a ability or an option to cancel your power mid-swing. So what this is it really helps you to get out of that 2-second lock animation of recovering from your power, so to say. Legion has this, Nurse has it. There's that fatigue right before you can attack again. So if you can cancel this while you're sliding or while you're leaping, by the time those 2 seconds are up, you can damage people before they even get to a window or get to a pallet. I've done this so many times, and this right here will give you a huge edge in your games. Cancel your power. Don't wait for it to go away on its own. It will take you 5 seconds if you waited, versus doing this, it gives you 2 seconds. So another thing too is between your leaps, you have 5 seconds before your power goes away. Tip number 2 is called swing regulation, is what I'm going to call this. And what I mean by swing regulation is, you're, like I mentioned earlier, you're going to be swinging around the map. Keep an eye on your HUD, right? Because you have your 2 forms, your Kagune form and your enraged form. So if you could stay in your enraged form, you'll get a 3rd swing, an extra distance to travel, an ability to maybe grab a survivor that is running around shack or something like that to get a free injured, things like that. Remember, you recover 2.5 seconds of charge when you're in rage mode, or do you want the 4 seconds of 4 seconds per charge in enrage mode? I would take the 2.5 seconds because you can recover quicker, you get a 3rd swing, and you'll be able to get around the map more easily. Now the last thing I'm going to talk about, this one is kind of hard. This one is still being worked on. You're going to have to put in a lot of time, but once you get it down, oh baby, man, you're going to be cooking, and you're going to be one of those great killers that people are going to fear. And this one's called slide teching. So what you can do with this is, as long as you're looking away from a vault, your character will slide across the surface, maybe around Killer Shack, maybe around a wall of something. I've seen this being done when I did it on a shack, on Saloon of all places, and even Badham Preschool. You can skip over a gap, you could skip over a ledge. Wherever you're aiming is where Kaneki is going to be going towards. So if you look away from a vault, you won't be vaulting that vault. You'll be able to slide across, and hopefully you could swing your camera around. So make sure to look away and then curve around. So kind of think of yourself like a boomerang. You're going to be going to point A to point B, but make sure that your camera is curving around when you do this. Okay? So those are my 3 tips: slide canceling, swing regulation, and slide teching. So there you have it. Moving on, we're going to be going over the different builds. Now, one thing I want to say before we go over these builds, if you guys are looking for one-on-one coaching sessions, I definitely do those as well on my Medify channel. You can hit me up there. I have a 10% discount code, TeachMe10. And if you guys are looking for any one-on-one training, Coco, what am I doing wrong? I keep doing what you're saying, but I just not improving. I'd love to help you. I love seeing people succeed. I love seeing people get better at the game and improve. So the first that we're going to go over, this one's going to be for newbies or my free-to-play players, or people who just don't have money to spend on video games, but you got your mom's wallet, and you got this this DLC. But this was going to be a beginner's build. We'll go to an intermediate build, and then we'll go to my advanced. Like, this is going to be just an all gas, no brakes. You're going to just wreck people in lobbies. But Whispers, this allows you just to sniff out survivors. Maybe you're not good at sniffing out survivors, so you'll be able to use this perk called Whispers. This is a general perk. These are perks that you can get for free by just leveling up your blood web. We got Bitter Murmur. This is an old school classic where if someone does a gen, it will reveal which direction survivors are running to. So their aura is revealed. You can see if they're going left, they're going right, they're going upstairs to Saloon, or they're going downstairs. They're healing still at the gen, things like that. If you also get towards the end of the game, all of the survivors' auras are revealed for 10 seconds. Very good perk that I liked when I was first learning. We also have Sloppy Butcher. Sloppy Butcher is really good when you basic attack someone, which you will be doing in the match. You'll be able to hemorrhage and mangle someone, so that means that if you interrupt their healing, they lose all that progress, or it will take them also longer to heal. This will last for 90 seconds. Very good perk. I really like this one. I recommend it. And then the last one is called No One Escapes Death. When all of the gens are done, you'll have the ability to insta down people, which will give you a huge edge in the end game. Mainly, this is a perk, I will personally be honest, is a perk that rewards bad gameplay, but for someone who's just learning, who doesn't want to win, right? So this is a really good perk for you to use, so you can have that comeback potential. Now people are going to go, oh crap, I gotta find the totem, and if you're able to beat them towards your totem, then you can pretty much win the game with ease. I'm also going to be running the Rizé glasses. This allows you, once you get into a rage mode, you'll see all of the healthy people who are doing gens. So once you down the person that you're chasing, you can go to the gen that you know someone's on and get them off it, kick it, do what you want. And then lastly, I got the Red-Headed Centipede. This allows you to vault a location and block it for 10 seconds. Killer Shack might be a really weak area for you. So if you can block Killer Shack a window, then you'll be able to maybe run around the building. They'll be like, oh crap, I didn't know it was blocked, and then you can beat them before they get back to the pallet. So this is really good. I think you'll like it. Number 2 we're going over is one of my favorite builds, probably one of the best builds you could be running on this killer. This build just cooks. It's really fun. So one of the best perks you could be running on Kaneki is Friends Till the End. Kaneki is really good at getting across the map very, very quickly, and this perk does 2 things. The first thing that it does is it reveals the obsession for 10 seconds. So if your obsession is somewhere, you can reveal them for 10 seconds, and they're exposed for 20. This is really, really good because you can get around the map with ease. Or if someone isn't the obsession, then let's say you hook your obsession, someone else becomes the obsession, and then they scream. So you're always going to locate someone. We have Killer Instinct. If you're very good at this, maybe at some point in the map there's 1, 2, or maybe multiple people injured. Whoever's the furthest that's injured becomes oblivious for 60 seconds. They won't hear you at all for 60 seconds, and their aura is revealed for 8. If there's one person, they can be literally right next to you in another room. They're still going to be revealed because it just says who is the farthest injured person. So this is a really good one. I like this perk. Then you got Fear of Chase. So if you hook your obsession, then you become undetectable for 18 seconds, as well as haste for 5. So you're 120% killer. You're undetectable to everybody, and you can sneak up and get some really good hits. You can see the synergy, huh? We're cooking a little bit. We're cooking with the obsession. And then I run Surge. I will die on this hill. I say this is the best perk for killers because what it does is it allows you to blow up all the gens that are near you, and you get 8% off of all of those gens. I've done it to 3 different gens at the same time, blown all of them up, and you don't even have to kick them. They just keep regressing, and you can keep on doing your thing, chasing and hooking and doing this all over again. Now we got the umbrella. The umbrella is really cool because it allows you to get out of your power quicker by 10%, so you can get into that M1, that basic attack. And I like the bloodstained handkerchief. This is a really good add-on that allows you to extend your leaps so that you can reach and get more distance. Maybe you're able to get to a branch or some type of object quicker than you thought. That would have able to get you to slide to be able to M1 and get out of your power, make slide cancel, things like that. So this one's a little underrated. I really like this add-on a lot. All right, this one is all gas, no brakes. If you're a really good killer, or if you're just someone looking for a fun time, this is my go-to build. I love this build to death. I just did a video on it. Check it out. It is just fire, baby. It is so good. So this perk all revolves around starstruck. Starstruck says that when you pick up a survivor, anyone in your terror radius is exposed until you hook the person or they get out of your terror radius, and it persists for 30 seconds. Now, Kaneki has a 40-meter terror radius, and this is wild because when you add this with agitation gives you 12 more meters, so you have a 52-meter terror radius. This is absolutely bonkers. Let me just tell you, man, this thing cooks. So you're also able to get to one hook or another location quicker, or you can say they're doing a gen in shack. You can pick up your survivor, walk all the way over to shack, snipe them with your terror radius, put them on a hook, and then you know, hey, I think 1 or 2 people are over there and they're going to be exposed. So if you need to also get to a Scourge hook, if you want to get that 20% off, that 18 seconds off of a gen, you can do that with Agi. It's just really good synergy, those 2 perks. And then again, like I said, I think Surge is literally the best perk because if they are insta-downable, just go over to them. Let's say you snipe the shack gen, you got 18 seconds off, and then you chase that person that was running away from the gen, you hit them, and now you took off 8% and maybe even more. So maybe instead of 8%, you're going to get maybe 16%, 15%, maybe even 20 if no one touches that gen. Maybe it was at 90 and no one stayed in that area because they know you're near, and now that gen gets all the way down to 0. I've seen so many times where I've done that. It's such a good perk, man. And the Yomori's Mask, man, I am in love with this add-on. What it does is whenever you hook someone, all of the healthy people, they are able, their location is revealed because they scream. So not only did you hit them with the exposed status effect, but now their location's revealed and you can locate them. You can get over there quicker with the fresh coffee. You can leap and go faster. And let me just tell you, man, this build is literally my favorite build. So yeah, there you have it. Again, I just wanted to encourage you guys, if you haven't already, again, make sure to hit the subscribe button because I am going to be putting out a lot more videos. I'm also going to be putting out a add-on tier list, more tips and tricks, more fun builds. And again, if you're looking for a coaching session, someone to have some one-on-one time with you, I believe my coaching sessions are like $5. And it's just a really good time. I've seen so many of my students get way better at the game, get so many 4Ks, just improve in confidence. And I would really love to do that with you guys. So yeah, make sure to hop over there. The link will be in the description below and also in the comment section possibly. So yeah, thank you guys again so much for watching. I appreciate you guys being here, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, everybody.